Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a follow-up to my previous video, which is related to 5 great unscented soaps. But this video is going to be about how to make your fragrances last longer. So these are just my tips and suggestions that I wanted to share with you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I first wanted to get the obvious out of the way, so I'll start with those. The first thing is overspraying, and I'm definitely guilty of that. I won't tell you how many sprays I do, but it's definitely probably more than a normal. So if you're doing 3 sprays or 5 sprays, maybe you want to up that up to 10 sprays. But it depends on the type of cologne that you have, because some are stronger than others. So you need to test the waters, and sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes you might hit the trigger one too many times and that's it. So overspraying is one. The next is the concentration of your fragrances. So I'll go over the different classifications of concentration so that you know where to gauge yourself. So if you want your fragrance to last longer, or to be stronger, or to be louder, you need a stronger concentration. So the weakest concentration is eau de cologne, or EDC, and I'll try to put the percentages at the top of the screen. The next is eau de toilette, or EDT. And then the next two are the strongest concentrations. One is eau de parfum, or EDP, and the last is parfum, or it could be called extrait de parfum. So that is the strongest concentration, and eau de cologne is the weakest concentration. The next obvious tip would be to spray your clothes. Now, this is something that I personally don't believe in. I try my hardest not to spray my clothes for various different reasons. So the personal tips that I will add to this will be things that I use to try to make my fragrances last longer on my skin. Now, the first thing that I practice to make my fragrance last longer on my skin is I picked up this dry brush. I picked up this dry brush off of Amazon, I believe, a while back. So this is a brush that you use to wipe off the dead skin before you get in the shower. So this is not something that you use in the shower. You use it prior to taking a shower. So I would suggest using a dry brush. So when you brush off all the dead skin and then you take a shower, it'll allow the moisture to stay in your skin longer, which will allow the perfume to radiate from your skin longer as well. So picking up a dry brush is one. The next one comes from my previous video, which is using a unscented or fragrance-free soap. So this one was featured in my video. You can also use fragrance-free shower gels. I haven't tried any of those yet, but anything that's fragrance-free and gets you clean will then not compete with your fragrances, and you'll be able to get the most life out of it. The next thing is going to be the oil. So after I'm done with the shower, I'm done washing, I have a spray bottle that I put oil in, and I spray that on before I dry myself off, and that helps to lock in the moisture. I got this tip years ago. I may have still been in high school when I got this tip. I read an article on GQ about this guy's father, who was really stylish, and he just had all these different tips on styling and grooming tips before he passed. And this was one that had always stuck in my head, was after he got out of the shower, he put on baby oil. Me, I'll use baby oil sometimes, but baby oil does have a fragrance. So what I use and what I suggest is using oils. Me, I use either, if I can find it at a decent price, grapeseed oil, but mostly I'll use sunflower oil because it's inexpensive, it's light. You find it in the cooking aisle. So I'll use that. I'll put in my spray bottle with a few drops of essential oil for the benefits that these essential oils add to your skin, like tea tree or peppermint. Sometimes I add a rosemary. So that's another one, is using oils. Now, I don't, if I was rich, I would definitely use argan oil or something like that costs more, and those are nice, and I'll use those type of oils on my face and on my beard because I'm not using that much of it. But because I'm using a lot of it, I go with cheaper, lighter oils. They're also easier to spray. The next tip I wanted to mention was using unscented deodorant. I didn't bring the example with me, I forgot it, but right now I'm using a crystal deodorant. You can find those online as well. And this is something that I switched to. I did a little bit of research on it and I decided to check it out. So this is just salt mineral. It's a big rock, and then you just add a little bit of water to it and then apply it. That doesn't have a fragrance, so I've been using that as opposed to using unscented deodorant. So this is something new. I'll have to get back to you maybe at a later date to let you know how it works. But right now it's working out fine. You know, I'm in an extreme heat environment. So either using that crystal soap or a fragrance-free or unscented deodorant is my next tip. My last suggestion is going to be using an unscented lotion. So I have a Cetaphil unscented lotion. I have another brand. I don't use lotion that much because I get a lot of moisture out of the first tip by using oil after I get out of the shower. But if I do need to use lotion, I have opted to switch to an unscented lotion. So what's good about those that I've even noticed is that, say I need to moisturize a little bit later and I have on a fragrance. Once I put it on and then I smell my arm, all I smell is the fragrance. Pure. I don't smell anything else competing with it. And those are just a few of my tips that I use in my personal routine to try to make my fragrances last longer. Okay, so if you have anything that you do that I haven't mentioned in this video, please add it to the comments section, so maybe it'll help me out. It may help the other viewers out. Also, you know, if this is more than your first time coming to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.